An old beggar steps into a rich man's hall. Young men fill it. They eat his food. They drink his wine. One of them throws a stool at the old man. The whole room laughs. What they don't know, this is his house. He has been gone 20 years, and tonight the doors of this hall get locked. This story is almost 3,000 years old, older than Rome, and it hangs on one question. How does the man who won a whole war end up as a beggar at his own door? The answer runs through a wooden horse, a one-eyed giant, a witch who turns men into pigs, the land of the dead, a song that kills, and a bow no one else can bend. This is the story of the Odyssey. Troy, 20 years earlier. The Greeks have been laying siege to this city for 10 years. The walls are too high, the gates are too strong. Then one morning, the beach is empty, the ships are gone, and at the gate stands a huge wooden horse. The Trojans pull it inside and celebrate. That night, soldiers climb out of its belly. 10 years of war, won in one night by one trick. The trick came from one man, Odysseus, king of a small rocky island called Ithaca. Now he gets to go home. Ithaca is about 2 weeks away by ship. 2 weeks. Hold that number. On the way, they stop for food. Wrong island. A giant lives here, tall as a cliff, with one eye in the middle of his head. He rolls a boulder over the cave door, with Odysseus and his men inside. Then he starts eating them, 2 at a time. Odysseus doesn't have the strength to fight him, so he doesn't. He hands the giant strong wine, and when the giant asks his name, he says, "Nobody." The giant falls asleep. The men sharpen a wooden stake and drive it into the eye. The giant screams for help. "Nobody is hurting me!" And the other giants shrug and go back to bed. At sunrise, the men slip out, strapped under the giant's own sheep. A perfect escape. Almost perfect. Safe on the water, Odysseus can't help himself. He turns and shouts at the blind giant. "If anyone asks who did this, say it was Odysseus of Ithaca." It's just one boast, one sentence of pride. But the giant starts to pray to his father. And his father is Poseidon, god of the sea. From now on, every wave between this ship and home belongs to an enemy. That one sentence will cost Odysseus 10 years. First, the sea plays its cruelest card. A friendly king traps every bad wind in a leather bag, ties it shut, and hands it to Odysseus. A gift. Nothing left to blow him off course. For 9 days and 9 nights, Odysseus steers alone. No sleep. On the 10th day, they see Ithaca, close enough to see the smoke of the cooking fires. Home, right there. He finally closes his eyes, and his crew looks at that tightly tied bag and thinks, gold. He's hiding gold. They open it. Every storm on earth explodes out of the bag and blows them all the way back. The Wind King won't help twice. A man this unlucky must be cursed, and he wants no part of it. It gets worse. Giant cannibals smash 11 of his 12 ships in a harbor, like toys in a bathtub. One ship left. It lands on an island where a woman lives alone in a stone house, singing. Her name is Circe. She invites the scouts to dinner and turns them into pigs. Odysseus walks in to save them, protected by a magic herb, and her spell slides right off him. So the witch gives up, turns the pigs back into men, and cooks everyone dinner. They stay a year. When they finally push off, Circe tells them the road home. First stop, the land of the dead. At the edge of the world, Odysseus calls the dead, and the dead come. Thousands of shadows crowding in. A dead prophet tells him the way home and its rules. You will pass a song. You will pass a monster. And whatever happens, do not touch the cattle of the sun. Then one more shadow steps up, his mother. She was alive when he sailed for Troy. She died waiting for him. In the land of the dead, 20 years stops being a number. It's a price, and it's still going up. The song comes first, the sirens. Forget mermaids. In this story, they sit in a quiet meadow on a heap of human bones, and their song pulls sailors in to rot. Odysseus plugs his crew's ears with wax. Himself he ties to the mast because he wants to hear it. The song hits. He screams to be untied, and the ropes hold. Then the strait. On one side, a whirlpool that swallows the whole sea. On the other, a thing with 6 heads. There is no way through without paying, so the captain does the math. He steers toward the monster. 6 heads take 6 men. Losing 6 is better than losing everyone. That's what command costs now.
One rule left. Don't touch the cattle of the sun. Storms pin the ship on the sun god's island for a month. The food runs out, and while Odysseus sleeps, his starving men butcher the sacred cattle. The sky answers with one thunderbolt. The ship is gone. The crew is gone. Of the 12 ships and hundreds of men who sailed from Troy, there is now exactly one man holding a broken mast in the middle of the sea. The sea washes him up in paradise, a green island, and a goddess named Calypso who decides to keep him. She offers him the one thing no man is supposed to refuse: stay with me and never die. Young forever on a perfect beach with a goddess. He says no. And here is the part the legend skips. He stays 7 years anyway, because she won't let him leave. Of the 10 years lost at sea, 7 are this one beach, a prisoner in paradise, sitting at the water's edge, crying toward home. The gods finally order her to release him. 20 years gone. What's even left of home? This is left, a house full of strangers. More than 100 young men, 3 classrooms of them, have moved into his hall. They eat his stores, they drink his cellar, and every one of them demands to marry his wife, Penelope, because a king missing for 20 years is a dead king. She's held them off with a trick worthy of her husband. She'll choose one, she says, when she finishes weaving a burial cloth. She weaves it all day and unpicks it every night for 3 years. But the trick is used up, and one man cannot fight 100 at his own front gate. So he doesn't come home as a king. He comes home as a beggar. Rags, a stick, 20 years written on his face. Nobody recognizes him, except one, an old dog on a dung heap by the gate. Argos. He was a puppy when the ships left. 20 years he waited. He hears the old voice, lifts his head, wags his tail once, and dies. That night, an old nurse washes the beggar's feet, like the house does for every guest. Her hands find a scar above his knee, a boar's tusk. She nursed that wound when he was a boy. Her eyes go wide. His hand closes on hers. Not a word. Because upstairs, Penelope has just announced a contest. The contest is this. There is a great bow in this house, and it answers to one pair of hands. String Odysseus's bow, shoot an arrow through 12 axes in a row, and Penelope is yours. One by one, the strongest suitors try. They strain, they grease it, they warm it by the fire. The bow does not bend. Then the beggar asks for a turn. The hall howls with laughter, the stool thrower loudest of all. The beggar sits down, takes the bow, and strings it the way a musician strings a harp. No effort at all. The arrow goes through all 12 axes. The laughter dies. And by the doors, quietly, a wooden bar drops into place. The next arrow is for the stool thrower. The beggar straightens up, and the rags fall away. 20 years, and the king is standing in his own hall. The doors are locked. 100 men against 1, but the 100 are unarmed, soft from 10 years of feasting, and the 1 is Odysseus. He takes his house back. And then comes the real ending, not the fight. Penelope has been careful for 20 years, and she tests this stranger one last time. She orders his bed moved out of the bedroom. He laughs. Impossible. He built that bed himself. One bedpost is a living olive tree rooted in the earth, and the whole house was built around it. Nobody can move that bed. Only her husband knows why. And now she runs to him. The beggar in the doorway was the king all along. The man who turned down living forever, for this room, this woman, and a bed grown out of a tree. One more strange thing. This poem begins the way we did, near the end, with the man almost home. The monsters, the giant, the bag of winds. A flashback, told at a dinner table. Films still open this way. This story did it almost 3,000 years ago. It was built to be sung from memory. 12,000 lines, a whole season of television without a single page. And the singer? Nobody knows. One poet, many poets. A name and nothing else. Homer. But his hero's name became a word. Every long, hard, stubborn way home is called an odyssey now. This was the first one, and it ends the only way it could. An old beggar steps into his own hall. It took him 20 years. He would tell you it was worth every one. One more thing. I'm Stick. I travel through time to bring you back the best stories. See you in the next one. Next time, the story of the number 0.